Hi, I'm David Yapel. In this video, we're going to introduce how to use and configure SnapEval. First, please accept our thanks if you just created a free 10-user SnapEval account for your team. SnapEval is simple and effective, so your team members will use it. SnapEval is specifically designed for small and mid-sized organizations, so administration is easy. Your free 10-user SnapEval instance includes all SnapEval features, and there's no time limitation. This means you can use SnapEval with up to 10 team members, including yourself, indefinitely. We'll also help you to configure your SnapEval instance with your organization's goals and other settings. This is a free service. If you want to use SnapEval with more than 10 team members, the cost is only $2.25 per user per month, billed monthly, based on actual enrollments. There are no startup fees, upfront costs, or contracts. You can cancel anytime and take all of your data with you. You can start using SnapEval in minutes. First, create your free 10-user SnapEval account. Then add your goals and team members. You can immediately begin capturing and sharing real-time feedback for your employees. You can also immediately create and share performance appraisals, what we call performance summaries, with your employees. Note that it's not required to capture and share real-time feedback as a prerequisite for creating performance summaries. Let's start by comparing SnapEval with other continuous performance management products. First, SnapEval is specifically designed for small and mid-sized organizations. This means organizations with less than 10 employees all the way up to organizations with thousands of employees. By contrast, most continuous performance management products are designed for organizations with at least 100 employees. SnapEval offers a free 10-user account with all features included and no time limitations. It's not trial software. For organizations with more than 10 users, SnapEval can be deployed to any number of users, such as a team, a department, or the whole organization. There are no minimum deployment sizes or minimum costs. At $2.25 per user per month, SnapEval is ultra affordable. The cost is billed monthly based on actual deployment size. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime and take all of your data with you. There are no startup fees, configuration fees, or upfront costs. It's strictly pay-as-you-go based on the deployment size that month. SnapEval includes free phone and technical support, as well as free training for administrators, managers, and employees. Most continuous performance management products offer a free 30-day trial. Once the trial is complete, the entire organization must be enrolled, or there's a minimum cost, which is typically in the many thousands of dollars. The pricing is often more than $5 per user per month, and it's billed annually and must be paid for upfront. An annual or multi-year contract is required, and there are substantial fees for early termination. In addition, there are often setup or configuration fees. Many organizations have a manual, ineffective, or non-existent performance management process prior to using SnapEval. By contrast, most continuous performance management products are designed for organizations that have a functional performance management process that needs improvement. SnapEval is specifically designed as a simple, easy-to-use, effective continuous performance management solution that provides timely, actionable feedback to employees. The objective of most continuous performance management products is to radically overhaul an organization's performance management process by implementing tasks such as journaling, OKRs, or frequent pulse surveys. In SnapEval, capturing and sharing feedback is primarily event-driven, meaning that the feedback snapshots are captured and shared with the employee when there's something meaningful to communicate. Most continuous performance management products are primarily schedule-driven, meaning that the continuous performance management tasks are deeply integrated into job workflows and must be attended to frequently, often daily, by both managers and employees. Changing an organization's culture is extremely difficult and often fails. SnapEval uses familiar concepts from traditional performance appraisals, so the cultural shift to implement SnapEval is small, which minimizes the risk of failure. Continuous performance management products that utilize OKRs, journaling, or frequent pulse surveys require a large cultural shift, which carries a much higher risk of failure. In SnapEval, only managers are required to utilize computers, tablets, or smartphones to capture and share feedback with their assigned employees. If the employees don't have access to technology, they can receive the feedback verbally or by hard copy when required. Most continuous performance management products require that managers and all employees have access to computers, tablets, or smartphones, as they are required to continually track their own progress against OKRs, create journal entries, or respond to pulse surveys. In SnapEval, real-time feedback for an employee can automatically be incorporated into an employee's performance appraisal. By contrast, content from OKRs, journaling, and pulse surveys isn't designed to integrate with the format of traditional performance appraisals. Now, let's specifically look at SnapEval versus OKRs-based performance management solutions. SnapEval is specifically designed for small and mid-sized organizations ranging from less than 10 employees to over 1,000 employees. Performance management products using OKRs are generally designed for organizations with hundreds of employees or more. SnapEval is ideal for organizations whose workers have a wide variety of tasks that can vary greatly on any given day. Their job functions may yield a mix of qualitative and quantitative results. OKRs work best in organizations that are very process-oriented, highly structured, and have many job functions that yield easily quantifiable results. In SnapEval, organization-wide goals and values are typically updated annually. Job competencies, department goals, and individual goals can be updated at any time as required to meet changing conditions. OKRs operate on a fixed 13-week cycle that's repeated 4 times each year. The first 2 weeks are strategic planning, followed by 10 weeks of execution. The last week of the cycle is used as a retrospective in preparation for the next 13-week cycle. SnapEval uses a 2-tiered cascaded goals approach. The tactical goals and job competencies cascade from organization-wide goals and values. The tactical goals and job competencies are loosely coupled to the organization-wide goals, meaning that they can be updated independently of the organization-wide goals as needed to meet changing conditions. OKRs are cascaded both downward and upward across all levels of the organization. They are tightly coupled, meaning that they can only be updated at the beginning of each 13-week cycle. The management of employee performance against goals in SnapEval may be either qualitative or quantitative. OKRs measure objectives qualitatively and key results quantitatively. In SnapEval, feedback is delivered as a combination of a goal area plus some level of achievement plus a text note that provides feedback details that are relevant and actionable for the employee. OKRs use numerical tracking of key results. Periodic manager-employee check-in meetings are utilized with both SnapEval and OKRs. By design, real-time feedback for an employee can automatically be incorporated into the employee's performance appraisal in SnapEval. Content from OKRs isn't designed to integrate with the format of traditional performance appraisals. Whether you're using SnapEval integrated with your ADP payroll platform or standalone, there are 3 SnapEval Editions to choose from. If your organization has just created a new SnapEval instance, it's likely that you're using the Unlimited Edition for small teams. This edition is completely free and enables you to enroll up to 10 users in your SnapEval instance. You can even swap team members within the 10-user maximum so that all of your key decision makers can experience working with SnapEval. This edition includes all SnapEval features, and there's no time limitation. We will help you to configure your SnapEval instance with your organization's branding, goals and values, and customized settings. There's no cost for this service. The Unlimited Edition for small teams is a terrific way to explore SnapEval with your team without risk, cost, or time pressure. For teams with 10 users or less, everything is included and it's completely free. For organizations that want to enroll more than 10 users in SnapEval, there are 2 choices. The Performance Management Edition for large teams includes all SnapEval features except performance recognition. The cost is $2.25 per user per month, billed monthly, which is less than 8 cents per user per day. The Unlimited edition for large teams includes all SnapEval features. The cost is $3.25 per user per month, billed monthly, which is less than 11 cents per user per day. With all editions, there are no setup fees of any kind. The cost is based on actual enrollments and is billed monthly, either directly to a credit card or as a line item on your ADP invoice. There's no annual contract or commitment, and you can cancel anytime without penalty or obligation. You can take all of your data with you. In addition to the free configuration and customization, technical support and training are also included at no cost. Lastly, we invite you to download the free SnapEval mobile app for iOS and Android devices. SnapEval includes free customization and configuration for each organization's SnapEval instance. The SnapEval instance is customized with the organization's logo and a complementary color theme that is utilized in the SnapEval web portal, mobile app, and emails. Custom goals, values, and competencies are implemented for the organization. This includes both organization-wide goals and values, as well as job competencies, department goals, and even individual goals. Custom achievement levels are also created. SnapEval supports 3, 4, or 5 levels of achievement, with customizable names and descriptions. Configuring reporting relationships, creating groups, and configuring SnapEval settings is also included with the free service. Now, let's introduce the key features included with SnapEval. Continuous performance management enables managers and employees to instantly capture feedback snapshots using smartphones and computers. Modern performance appraisals enable feedback snapshots to automatically be incorporated into an employee's performance summary document. These snapshots, or snaps as we call them, can come from managers, peers, and from the employee. Self-snaps provide the employee with an opportunity to create a self-assessment. Snaps from managers and peers that are shared with the employee during the year provide the employee with an opportunity to continue to excel in response to positive snaps or improve performance in response to developmental snaps, long before the performance review meeting with the manager. Because the employee's manager can automatically incorporate some or all of these snaps and self-snaps directly into the employee's performance summary, the process of creating the performance summary is much faster and easier for the manager. Because the employee has already seen these shared snaps, the performance review meeting and process is far less stressful and intimidating for the employee. Organization charts enable reporting to be established by dragging and dropping user nodes over one another. Complex relationships with multiple managers for an employee are supported. Organization structure what-ifs can be created and exported as PDF, PNG, SVG, or CSV files. Push notification messages instantly notify users about important events, such as a reminder to give feedback or a request for feedback from a team member. SnapEval administrators can create custom-rich push notifications to instantly deliver critical, important messages to targeted users' smartphones. SnapEval's optional Spotlight Performance Recognition feature enables a performance feedback snapshot to be nominated for public recognition of performance excellence within the organization. When introducing SnapEval benefits, we like to use the analogy of an iceberg. There are some obvious benefits similar to the portion of the iceberg above the waterline, but there are also many more subtle but equally important benefits that are analogous to the portion of the iceberg below the waterline. Some of the more obvious benefits are: SnapEval is simple and easy to use. Employees receive timely, actionable, goal-aligned feedback that helps to increase employee engagement and results. SnapEval is free or ultra-affordable. Examples of some of the more subtle benefits include: HR professionals can proactively coach feedback creators prior to the recipient receiving the feedback. Feedback can be communicated electronically to the recipient when it's most effective, immediately when it's captured, or at a future point in time. SnapEval supports non-hierarchical, team, and complex reporting relationships. SnapEval provides HR professionals with comprehensive visibility to positive and developmental feedback for current and former employees. Next, let's introduce a few definitions that will help when using SnapEval. A snap, also known sometimes as an eval, is a method to instantly capture and share a performance feedback snapshot using familiar concepts from traditional performance appraisals. Sharing is the process of electronically communicating a snap to the snap recipient. This can be done instantly at the same time a snap is captured or at a later point in time. A group is a collection of users such as a department, job function, team, or individual. Groups are used to report performance across a collection of users. Groups are also used to create specific goals that apply to members of the group, such as job competencies or goals for an individual. A performance summary is a performance appraisal document that can automatically include the employee's snaps. With performance management, all feedback is private to the recipient's managers, and administrators. Performance recognition enables a snap to be nominated for public recognition of performance excellence within the organization. Now, let's introduce the concept of feedback snapshots, or snaps as we call them. Many traditional performance appraisals are designed around organization goals, values, job competencies, and individual goals. We simply call them goal areas. When completing a performance appraisal, the manager selects an achievement level for each goal area. The manager also includes feedback details to explain the achievement level selected and provide the employee with information about what they are doing well and what they need to improve in their performance. Because the concepts of goal areas, achievement levels, and feedback details are familiar to most managers and employees from traditional performance appraisals, SnapEval uses these same elements when capturing a snap of performance feedback for an employee. Each snap focuses on a single goal area, achievement level, and feedback details for the recipient. A snap can be captured on any internet-connected computer or tablet. The SnapEval mobile app's voice-to-text support enables a snap to be captured in seconds, even if the feedback details are extensive. It's important to capture a snap for an employee when thinking of or observing performance so that the feedback isn't forgotten. However, a snap isn't required to be communicated instantly to the feedback recipient at the time it's created. Rather, there are three choices. First, the snap can be shared immediately when it's created. The recipient instantly receives an email and a smartphone push notification. The recipient can also view the snap content in the SnapEval web portal and mobile app. This is perfect for a thank you or other positive feedback. Second, the snap creator can defer sharing the snap to a future point in time. This is ideal for a snap with developmental feedback. By not sharing a snap when it's created, the snap recipient doesn't receive an email or push notification when the snap is submitted. The snap recipient also can't view the feedback in the SnapEval web portal or mobile app. This provides the snap creator with the opportunity to discuss the feedback with the recipient's manager, or a SnapEval administrator in person prior to sharing the snap electronically. It also enables the snap creator to edit the content prior to sharing it with the recipient. This may be important to incorporate elements of the in-person discussion. It is important that the snap is shared after the discussion to document the developmental feedback. Third, a snap may never be shared with the recipient. This is useful for taking notes about an employee that are only shared with other managers and SnapEval administrators. The snap recipient cannot view the unshared snap, even if the recipient is a manager or a group administrator in SnapEval. In SnapEval, a snap is used to capture and share performance feedback with an employee. Let's look at the workflow that occurs when a snap is created. There are three key individuals in this process: the feedback creator, who is the feedback recipient's manager or a peer if 360-degree feedback is enabled; the HR professional, who typically has the organization administrator role in SnapEval, and the feedback recipient. Unfortunately, people will sometimes say things electronically about another individual that they would never say to that individual in person. We've all seen this behavior in email and social media. For this reason, we built multi-layered Snap content safeguards into SnapEval. At a core level, we included an automatic, built-in inappropriate language filter. It contains a dictionary of about 400 words that are generally considered to be unacceptable for business communications. If the text includes any of these words when the feedback details content is submitted for the creation of a snap, the content is rejected, and both the feedback creator and the organization administrators receive an email notification with the rejected content and the feedback creator's identity. We don't allow a snap to be created if it includes any of the words in the inappropriate language dictionary. If there aren't any inappropriate words in the snap, then it goes to the next step in the process. If the snap has been shared with a feedback recipient, then the recipient receives an email and smartphone push notification, and the recipient can view the snap in the SnapEval web portal and mobile app. If the snap hasn't been shared with the feedback recipient, then the recipient can't view it in the SnapEval web portal or mobile app. Notice that the organization administrator has full visibility to both shared and unshared snaps. The inappropriate language filter helps with preventing snaps with unacceptable words, but what about content that's unhelpful or potentially problematic? For example, what if the feedback details for a snap are, "You are a bad employee. You should go get a new job"? Because there's no foul language, the inappropriate language filter won't prevent the snap from being created. For this reason, we've included an additional layer of protection called feedback queuing. With feedback queuing enabled, an organization administrator can specify criteria that will cause a snap to be queued for review and approval before it can be shared with the feedback recipient. The snap creator cannot release their own snap from the queue, even if the snap creator is a group administrator. This provides the HR professional with an opportunity to proactively review, edit, and coach a snap creator if necessary. Example criteria that will cause a snap to be queued for review are negative sentiment in the feedback details text, specific words or emojis added to the customizable dictionary, specified achievement levels such as needs improvement or unacceptable, specified feedback recipients such as a new employee during their probation period, specified feedback creators such as a new manager. For our example of a snap with the feedback details text, "You are a bad employee, you should go get a new job," the negative sentiment criteria would automatically score this feedback as being very negative, so it would be queued for review. It is important to note that just because a snap is queued for review, it doesn't mean that the snap creator has done anything wrong. For example, if a queuing criteria is queue all snaps with the lowest level of achievement, and a manager creates a needs improvement snap for an employee that isn't meeting job requirements, the manager is correct in doing so. Whether or not the snap is shared when it's created, it will still be queued for review when the manager submits it. This provides the HR professional with a heads up that the employee is having difficulty meeting job requirements, and an opportunity to proactively discuss this issue with the manager. It's critical that HR professionals have comprehensive access to all snap feedback data throughout the lifecycle of a snap. When a snap is created, the following data is included: who created the snap, who the snap recipient is, what the organization-wide goal area is, what the associated group level goal is, if any, such as a specified job competency or individual goal, what the achievement level is, the feedback details text content, including emojis, the date and time that it was created, whether or not it was shared with the recipient when it was created. When a snap is shared, all the same data is included. When a snap is edited, the event is logged in SnapEval's Change Audit Log report. This report shows the content of the snap prior to and after the change, including the goal area achievement level, feedback details, and sharing status. It also shows who made the change and when it was made. Comments can be added to a snap by the snap creator, snap recipient, and SnapEval administrators. These comments are all associated with the snap as a tracked conversation and cannot be edited or deleted. Comments made by an employee are especially important for developmental feedback. SnapEval also logs when a snap recipient initially views a snap in the SnapEval web portal or mobile app. This is important evidence that an employee has seen the feedback that they've been given and is especially critical for developmental feedback. HR professionals have full visibility to all snap data for all active snaps, archived snaps, and deleted snaps. They even have full visibility to all snap data for terminated workers who are no longer assigned to the SnapEval system. This is important documentation for a wrongful termination defense. Employee performance feedback data is highly sensitive and should only be accessed by authorized personnel. To manage this access automatically, SnapEval includes role-based access control. There are 4 roles in SnapEval: User, Manager, Group Administrator, and Organization Administrator. An individual can have 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of these roles. When an individual is assigned to SnapEval, they are automatically assigned the User role. Users can capture feedback about their own performance. This is known as a self-snap. They can also view snaps that they've received from other individuals. When subordinates are assigned to a user, the user is also automatically assigned the Manager role. Managers can create snaps for their assigned subordinates, so this defines who can give feedback to whom. If 360-degree feedback is enabled, all users can give feedback to anyone else in the organization. A user can view the snaps that the user has created for other individuals. A manager can only view the snaps that the manager has created for their subordinates, plus any self-snaps that the subordinates have created. The manager cannot view snaps that their subordinates have received from other managers or peers if 360-degree feedback is enabled. This restriction enables organizations with shift supervisors to prevent these supervisors from viewing feedback from other supervisors. For example, a supervisor for an employee on the A shift can't view the feedback that the employee received from another supervisor on the B shift. A group is a collection of users, such as a department, team, or job function. Groups can be created automatically or manually. When a user is assigned as a group administrator, they have visibility to all snaps that all members of their assigned groups have given or received. For this reason, managers are often also assigned as group administrators for groups that have their subordinates as group members. SnapEval supports primary and secondary reporting relationships. Each user can have one primary manager and multiple primary reports. If an organization is using SnapEval integrated with ADP Workforce Now, the primary relationships in SnapEval can automatically be imported and updated from the ADP Workforce Now Reports to relationships. In addition to primary relationships, each user can also have secondary relationships. Each user can have multiple secondary managers and multiple secondary reports. Secondary relationships are identical to primary relationships in SnapEval, except that they aren't displayed in SnapEval org charts. In other words, the secondary manager for an employee can do exactly the same things that the primary manager for the employee can do. In SnapEval, each employee can have multiple managers. This enables configurations such as matrix management and multiple supervisors for an employee across various shifts. It also enables team structures where team leaders replace or augment traditional organization hierarchies for providing feedback. This structure is very popular in CPA and law firms. SnapEval also supports circular reporting relationships, where a user is both a manager and a report to an employee. This enables configurations such as 360-degree feedback within a team and configuring co-executives as responsible to give feedback to each other. Here's a more in-depth look at the capabilities for each of the 4 SnapEval roles. Since an individual can have multiple SnapEval roles, the highest level of functionality in each of the individual's roles defines the functions the individual can perform. For example, an individual can have the user, manager, and group administrator roles. Based on the user role, an individual can capture self-snaps, capture snaps for peers if 360-degree feedback is enabled, view all shared snaps that the individual has received, and create their own draft performance summary. Based on the manager role, the individual can create snaps for their assigned subordinates and create draft performance summaries for their assigned subordinates. Based on the group administrator role, the individual can view all shared and unshared snaps to any member of their assigned groups, view all shared and unshared snaps from any member of their assigned groups, except if the individual is the recipient of an unshared snap, create a performance summary for any member of their assigned groups, collaborate in viewing and editing performance summaries with organization administrators, group administrators, and the performance summary creator, create group-level goals for their assigned groups, create and send custom-rich push notification messages. Organization administrators have full access to all SnapEval data and settings for the organization. Organization administrators also configure reporting relationships to assign the manager role and assign group administrators to groups. Because of the organization administrator's full access to all data and settings, this role is typically only given to HR professionals in the organization. This slide is a handy reference document when planning the roles to assign to each individual in the organization. Now, let's look at configuring groups, goal areas, and achievement levels in SnapEval. First, let's look at some grouping concepts. A group is a collection of users, such as a department, role, team, or even an individual. Groups can be manually created and populated by organization administrators. They can also be automatically created and populated. For example, groups for individuals can automatically be created and populated. When integrated with ADP Workforce Now, role groups and department groups can automatically be created and populated. When integrated with Run powered by ADP, department groups can be automatically created and populated. A user can be a member of multiple groups. Group administrators are assigned by organization administrators. A user can be a group administrator for multiple groups. A group can have multiple group administrators. A user can be both a group administrator and a member of a group. Group-level goals can be created and updated for a group by a group administrator for the group and by organization administrators. When a user joins a group, all group-level goals for that group are automatically assigned to the user for new feedback. When a user leaves a group, the user no longer has the group-level goals for new feedback, but all feedback received with these group-level goals is retained for the user. In other words, when a user leaves a group, the group-level goals associated with that group are no longer available for new snaps for that user. However, any snaps that they've received against those group-level goals in the past are still retained for that user. In SnapEval, typical groups include department groups, team groups, role groups, which are really groups for a specific job, and groups for individuals. But a group can be created for any collection of individuals. One of the most powerful features in SnapEval is that group-level goals can be assigned to a group. For example, department-specific goals or skills can be assigned to a department group. Job competencies can be assigned to a role group, and individual goals can be assigned to an individual group. In our example, George Thompson is a member of 4 groups: his own individual group, the team leader Bill Wheeler group, the audit department group, and the senior accountant role group. This means that any group-level goals associated with any of these 4 groups will automatically be assigned to George Thompson because he's a member of these 4 groups. Because these goals are assigned at the group level, if an individual leaves one group and joins another group, they inherit the new group's goal areas. For example, if Chris Schultz is promoted from a staff accountant to a senior accountant, the organization administrator only needs to remove Chris Schultz from the staff accountant group and add Chris to the senior accountant group. By doing so, the senior accountant job competencies are automatically assigned to Chris for all new snaps. Managers are often assigned as group administrators for groups. For example, Bill Wheeler is a group administrator for the Team Leader Bill Wheeler group. This means that Bill Wheeler has full visibility to all snaps that George Thompson and Chris Schultz receive from anyone in the organization, and full visibility to any snaps that either of them give to anyone in the organization. Bill Wheeler is also a group administrator for the George Thompson individual group. Because group administrators can create and update group-level goals for their assigned groups, this means Bill Wheeler can create group-level goals for the individual George Thompson group and update them at any time. Notice that Cheryl Johnson, the Director of Human Resources in this organization, is an organization administrator for the organization. By contrast, other senior leaders are typically not assigned the organization administrator role. Rather, they are assigned the group administrator role for specific groups. For example, John LaFrance is a group administrator for the audit and tax departments. Tom Willows is a group administrator for all departments in the organization. This provides Tom Willows with comprehensive visibility to feedback across the organization, but does not permit him to add new users to the organization or change organization-wide goals or values. SnapEval includes settings that enable some groups to be created and populated automatically. For example, individual groups can be created and populated automatically. The user is assigned as the only member of their own group, and their manager or managers are assigned as group administrators for their group. What makes this really powerful is if a user changes managers, the group administrator assignments are automatically changed. For example, if Betty Goodman is unassigned as Kelly Jordan's direct report and is assigned as Bill Wheeler's direct report, then the SnapEval system will automatically unassign Kelly Jordan as a group administrator for the individual Betty Goodman group and assign Bill Wheeler as a group administrator for the individual Betty Goodman group. If Betty had both Kelly and Bill as managers, they would both be assigned as group administrators for her individual group. This automated process makes administration much easier for organization administrators. Of course, individual goals or skills can be assigned to each of these groups, and they can be used in conjunction with the groups that we've already introduced. SnapEval uses 2-tier cascading goals to link organization-wide goals with more specific group-level goals, such as department goals, job competencies, or goals for an individual group. This means when capturing a snap for an individual, a goal area can either be an organization-wide goal alone, or it can be an organization-wide goal associated with a more specific group-level goal. For example, when capturing a snap for George Thompson, we could see goal areas such as productivity - less than 10 hours for basic audits, or productivity - record billable hours each week. These more specific goals are related to George's department and his job function. Now, let's look at creating performance summaries. A performance summary is a performance appraisal document that can automatically include the employee's snaps. Snaps aren't required to create a performance summary for an employee. In fact, an organization can create performance summaries for all of their employees and not have any snaps in the SnapEval system. A performance summary can be created for an employee at any time. Multiple concurrent draft performance summaries can be created for an employee. For example, an employee can create their own draft performance summary as a self-assessment, and the employee's manager can create a separate draft performance summary for the employee. A performance summary includes the same goal areas that are available for capturing snaps for the employee. This can include organization-wide goals and values, job competencies, and individual goals. All snaps shared with the employee during the performance summary date range can be included in the performance summary. This can include snaps from the employee's managers, snaps from the employee's peers, and the employee's self-snaps. A performance summary can also include custom content, such as the employee's comments or development plans. An overall achievement level can be selected manually from the same achievement levels available for snaps, or it can be an automatically calculated value by the SnapEval system. A performance summary can be submitted as complete and shared electronically with the employee by an organization administrator or by any of the collaborators who worked on the performance summary for the employee. Here are the simple steps to create a performance summary. First, select the employee to receive the performance summary. Second, select the date range for the performance summary. Third, automatically include the employee's snaps in the performance summary. All snaps shared with the employee during the selected date range are automatically listed, including the employee's self-snaps, snaps from the employee's peers, and snaps from the employee's managers. Select from this list the specific snaps to include in the performance summary. The selected snaps are then automatically organized by goal area into the draft performance summary document. Then add comments for each goal area in the performance summary. Select an overall achievement level for each goal area, and add comments that summarize the employee's overall performance. Lastly, either manually select an overall achievement level for the performance summary, or let the SnapEval system automatically calculate an overall achievement score. Here's how the automated scoring in SnapEval works. First, the goal areas are selected that will go into the performance summary. Each goal area has a weight that can be configured from 0 to 100 by an administrator in the SnapEval system. The higher the weight, the more important the goal area. The goal area weights are used to automatically calculate a weight coefficient for each goal area included in the performance summary. These are internally calculated values and not visible to the performance summary creator. When drafting a performance summary, the performance summary creator selects an achievement level for each goal area in the performance summary document. Each achievement level is associated with an achievement score that can range from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest level of achievement and 5 being the highest level of achievement. The SnapEval system then uses the weight coefficient and the achievement score for each goal area to calculate a weighted score for each goal area. Again, this is an internally calculated value and not visible to the performance summary creator. Finally, the weighted score for all of the goal areas in the performance summary are summed up. This is the overall achievement score. Here's a numerical example of how the scoring works. In SnapEval, multiple individuals can work together on an employee's performance summary document. We call this performance summary collaboration. The rules that define who can collaborate on an employee's performance summary are based on who initiates the performance summary document and their relationship with the employee. For example, if the employee initiates their own performance summary, then the employee, all group administrators for any group that the employee is a member of, and all organization administrators can collaborate on the performance summary document. If the employee's manager initiates the performance summary, then the manager, all group administrators for any group that the employee is a member of, and all organization administrators can collaborate on the performance summary document. If a group administrator for any group that the employee is a member of initiates the performance summary, then all other group administrators for any group that the employee is a member of can collaborate. All organization administrators are also allowed to collaborate. If an organization administrator initiates a performance summary for an employee, then all group administrators for any group that the employee is a member of can collaborate. Other organization administrators can also collaborate. The basic rule for performance summary collaboration is that the individual who initiated the performance summary, plus all group administrators for any group that the employee is a member of, plus all organization administrators can collaborate. Let's look at an example of how the collaboration process works for employee George Thompson. The column on the left side of the matrix lists each of the individuals in the organization who could potentially initiate a performance summary for George Thompson. The row at the top of the matrix lists the individuals who could potentially collaborate on the performance summary. For example, If George Thompson initiates a performance summary for himself, then he is also allowed to collaborate with others on this performance summary. Bill Wheeler, who is George's manager but doesn't also have a group administrator role, isn't allowed to collaborate on this performance summary. The reason is because Bill only has the manager role, he's not allowed to see snaps that George may have received from peers or other managers and George may have included in his own performance summary. John LaFrance, who is a group administrator for the audit department group that George is a member of, is allowed to collaborate on the performance summary. Tom Willows, who is another group administrator for the audit department group, can also collaborate. Although Kelly Jordan is a group administrator, she isn't a group administrator for a group that George is a member of. Therefore, she can't collaborate. Betty Goodman is George's peer. She doesn't have an administrator role and can't collaborate. Cheryl Johnson is an organization administrator, so she can collaborate. If Bill Wheeler initiates a performance summary for George, George isn't allowed to collaborate. Of course, Bill himself can collaborate. Because John LaFrance and Tom Willows are both group administrators for a group that George is a member of, they can collaborate. Because Kelly Jordan isn't a group administrator for a group that George is a member of, she can't collaborate. As George's peer, Betty Goodman can't collaborate. Because Cheryl Johnson is an organization administrator, she can collaborate. If John, Tom, or Cheryl initiate a performance summary for George, George isn't allowed to collaborate. Again, because Bill Wheeler only has a manager role, he isn't allowed to collaborate. If he had a group administrator role too, he could collaborate. John and Tom can collaborate on all performance summaries for George. This is because George and Tom are both group administrators for a group that George is a member of. Kelly and Betty aren't allowed to collaborate. Because she is an organization administrator, Cheryl can also collaborate on all performance summaries for George. Kelly and Betty can't initiate a performance summary for George, so there isn't any collaboration. Finally, if we add the group administrator role for Bill Wheeler, notice how he can now collaborate on all performance summaries for George Thompson. SnapEval is a fully integrated solution with several of the ADP payroll platforms, including Run powered by ADP, ADP Workforce Now, and ADP TotalSource. SnapEval has been in the ADP marketplace since 2015, and hundreds of organizations have deployed SnapEval integrated with ADP. There are three core elements to SnapEval's integration with ADP. First, basic employee data is automatically imported and synced from the organization's ADP payroll instance. This data is updated automatically each day and can be synced on demand. Second, all users sign into their SnapEval account using their ADP user ID and password. There are no SnapEval specific user IDs or passwords to manage. This is known as single sign-on. Third, if an organization decides to deploy SnapEval to more than 10 users, they will be billed for the SnapEval subscription as a line item on their monthly invoice from ADP. When integrated with ADP Workforce Now or ADP TotalSource, SnapEval automatically imports and updates employee name, work email address, job title, manager, job assignment, department assignment, hire date, and ADP status, such as active or terminated. This employee data is used to automatically configure and update each employee's profile in SnapEval. If desired, employee data from ADP can be replaced or augmented with additional information. For example, additional managers can be assigned to an employee beyond the manager assigned to the employee in ADP. Only the ADP Workforce Now payroll and tax module is required for full integration with SnapEval. When integrated with Run powered by ADP, SnapEval automatically imports and updates employee name, work email address, department assignment, hire date, and ADP status. Using employee data synced from ADP, SnapEval automatically creates a user staging table in the SnapEval application. By checking a checkbox by a user's name and clicking the Save Changes button, a SnapEval organization administrator uses this staging table to assign specific users from the organization to the SnapEval application. Users can be unassigned by unchecking the checkbox by their name and clicking the Save Changes button. Please do not use the ADP Marketplace's Assign Apps feature to assign users to the SnapEval application. SnapEval includes a free mobile app for iOS and Android devices. You can download the SnapEval mobile app from the Apple App Store for iOS and from Google Play for Android. The home screen of the SnapEval mobile app displays buttons that are shortcuts for popular actions on a smartphone. The green buttons relate to giving feedback to or receiving feedback from someone else. The blue buttons relate to capturing or viewing self-feedback. The yellow buttons display all snaps recognized for performance excellence. The mobile app also has the full functionality of the web portal. Simply tap the Menu button to review the full SnapEval menu. Automated push notifications alert the user when a snap or a request from others for feedback is received. Tap on the push notification to automatically open the SnapEval mobile app and take action. SnapEval administrators can send urgent or important notifications with custom content to targeted users or the entire organization. Icon badging reminds a user that there are open notifications for the user in SnapEval's Notification Center. Voice-to-text support enables feedback details to be captured in snaps without typing. The mobile app supports both portrait and landscape modes, so graphics can be viewed most easily. Work-from-home employees and other remote workers must often multitask without a typical office environment's support services, computing technology, or infrastructure. As a result, it can be difficult to reach them with critical urgent messages, important reminders, and organization-wide announcements. A message delivery solution for a small or mid-sized organization must meet the following requirements. Be highly effective at reaching all workers, including in-facility, work-from-home, and other remote employees. Enable message recipients to immediately act in response when necessary. Enable authorized users to quickly and easily create a message on a computer or a smartphone. Enable the desired recipients to be targeted instantly. Be free of cost to the organization, the message sender, and message recipients. Today, smartphones are the most effective communications platform. In 2019, adults in the USA spent an average of nearly 3 hours per day on their smartphone. Smartphones are always connected and automatically switch between cellular and Wi-Fi. Unlike computers, which may be shared between users, each user typically has their own smartphone. Smartphones are almost never out of arm's reach, even when the user is asleep. Push notifications are the most effective method to reach a smartphone user. Smartphone push notifications are used for public safety, emergency, and Amber alerts. Popular mobile apps employ push notification messages to instantly deliver critical news or weather alerts. Why are push notifications highly effective? Push notifications are instantly presented to the smartphone user, even if the device is locked or in use. Push notifications bypass the clutter of email, text, and other third-party messaging services. Push notifications are automatically delivered to the smartphone even when the device is asleep. Push notifications can include an image to accompany the text. Push notifications can open a specified web page when tapped by the user. Note that the ability to include images and open specified web pages distinguish rich push notifications from ordinary push notifications. Push notifications can be targeted to specific users or to all users of a mobile app. Push notifications don't require the phone number of a device for message delivery. Push notifications can be delivered to multiple devices for each recipient. Push notifications are no cost to the sender. They use a very tiny amount of data for the recipient. SnapEval's custom rich push notification feature enables organization administrators and group administrators to target, create, and send custom rich push notifications to users in their organization. The SnapEval administrator can target everyone in the organization, all members of a specified group, such as a department, team, or job function, all individuals that have a specific SnapEval role, such as all managers, or a selected individual. The SnapEval administrator can select a message type for the notification, such as critical, important, or informational. Up to 250 characters of text can be included in the push notification. The text can also include emojis. A web link can be included in the notification. When the notification is tapped by the smartphone user, this web page will be opened in the SnapEval mobile app. Links to external resources are supported, such as a link to a specific CDC update about COVID-19. All targeted recipients of the notification will receive the message by email. Those with the mobile app installed will also receive it as a push notification on their smartphone. The email is a handy reference for all recipients as the push notification is cleared on the smartphone when it's tapped by the user. The message sender is identified in the email. A custom rich push notification can be created and sent in seconds. First, select the target audience for the message. Second, select an optional message type. This will determine the icon displayed in the notification. Third, if desired, add an optional web link. This can be a link to a web page internal or external to SnapEval. Fourth, add a text message of up to 250 characters. It can include emojis. Finally, click the Send Notification button to send it to all recipients. Custom rich push notifications can also be created and sent from the mobile app. The custom rich push notification message is delivered to the recipient's smartphone. The custom text message is displayed along with the selected notification icon. If the notification is tapped, the specified web link is opened in the SnapEval mobile app on the smartphone. The message is also delivered as an email to all recipients. The email includes the organization's logo and a complementary color theme. The selected notification icon is displayed at the top of the email. The message creator and recipient are shown. The custom text, including emojis, is displayed. The specified web link URL is also displayed. To encourage all recipients to download and install the free SnapEval mobile app, links to the SnapEval mobile app in the Apple App Store and Google Play are included in the email. Here are some example messages delivered as rich custom push notifications. Recognizing the performance excellence of employees helps to increase their engagement with the organization and their job. Earlier, we introduced the workflow for snaps in the performance management process, which is the top half of this diagram. Now, let's focus on the Spotlight performance recognition process, which is the bottom half of this diagram. With the Spotlight performance recognition feature enabled, in the process of creating a snap, a feedback creator has the option of nominating the snap for public recognition of performance excellence within the organization. To do this, the feedback creator checks the Nominate this feedback for Spotlight recognition checkbox before submitting the snap. After checking the checkbox, the feedback creator can also include optional comments that are only shared with the organization administrators who will be reviewing the nomination. This provides the feedback creator with the opportunity to give more context as to why the snap is being nominated for the recognition of performance excellence. These optional comments aren't shared with the recipient or anyone else. Organization administrators are notified when a snap has been submitted for recognition of performance excellence. If the nomination is declined, the performance recognition process ends. However, it is important to note that the feedback recipient will still receive their snap according to the performance management process we reviewed earlier. Of course, this feedback is private to the recipient as it is the performance management process. If the nomination is accepted, then the snap content is published to the Spotlight Recognition dashboard, which all the organization's users have access to. The recipient also receives a Spotlight Recognition email from the SnapEval system. If the organization periodically recognizes performance excellence in company-wide meetings, organization administrators can run reports that detail all of the snaps that have been recognized for Spotlight Performance Excellence during a specified period, and use this information for awards or other internal recognition activities. SnapEval's Spotlight Performance Recognition feature enables the creator of a snap to nominate this employee feedback to be recognized for performance excellence within the organization. A snap can be nominated by checking the Nominate this feedback for Spotlight recognition checkbox at the time that a snap is created. When the checkbox is checked, a separate text box is displayed that can be used to include a private message to nomination reviewers with details about why the snap is being nominated for Spotlight recognition. Organization administrators review and approve or decline snaps nominated for Spotlight recognition. They can also edit the snap content, which can be helpful in case of typos. However, it's important to note that this also edits the snap content for performance management purposes. If a nomination is declined, the snap recipient still receives their feedback in accordance with the performance management process in SnapEval. Approved nominations are published to the Spotlight dashboard for public recognition within the organization. All users in an organization with a SnapEval login can view the Spotlight dashboard. The recognition recipient is also notified by email and a smartphone push notification. The process for getting started with SnapEval is quick and easy. Depending on the complexity of an organization and its goals, deployments can be done in a matter of minutes to a few hours. The deployment process for organizations using SnapEval standalone starts by creating a free 10-user SnapEval instance at SnapEval.com. This step takes about 2 minutes and is free. The organization could configure their own SnapEval instance, but it's a free service from SnapEval, so why not take advantage of the offer? To do this, the organization provides SnapEval with basic information such as an org chart, company goals, and job competencies. SnapEval then adds the organization's departments and job functions. SnapEval also configures the organization's goals, job competencies, and other settings. Notice that there's still no cost to the organization in this process. The organization can then add up to 9 additional team members for a total of 10 users. The organization is then ready to use the free 10-user account. All features are included and there's no time limitation. It's not trial software. The cost remains free indefinitely. If the organization decides that it would like to deploy SnapEval to more than 10 users, then SnapEval can bulk enroll the additional team members. This could be a team, a department, or the whole organization. At this point, SnapEval will have the organization add its credit card, which will be billed $2.25 per user each month based on actual enrollments. There's no upfront costs, contract, or commitment, and the organization can cancel anytime and take all of its data. The last step is that SnapEval will also help with manager and employee training. This is also a free service. This process is designed to minimize cost and risk to the organization, and to empower the HR professional to explore and utilize SnapEval without making any commitments for the organization. The organization sets the pace for moving through these process steps, not SnapEval. In other words, the SnapEval team is there to assist the organization and won't push the organization to move through the process or deploy SnapEval to the whole organization. The deployment process for organizations using SnapEval with ADP starts by creating a free 10-user SnapEval instance in the ADP marketplace. This step takes about 2 minutes and is free. The next step is for the organization's ADP Marketplace administrator to log into their SnapEval account and accept the 2 ADP consent requests. This allows SnapEval to import core employee data, such as names, email addresses, and department assignments from ADP to configure the organization's SnapEval instance. Notice that there's still no cost to the organization in this process. The organization could configure its own goals, values, and job competencies, but account configuration is a free service from SnapEval, so why not take advantage of the offer and let SnapEval do the work? The organization can then add up to 9 additional team members for a total of 10 users. The organization is now ready to use its free 10-user account. All features are included and there's no time limitation. It's not trial software. The cost remains free indefinitely. If the organization decides that it would like to deploy SnapEval to more than 10 users, SnapEval will have the organization change its subscription size in the ADP marketplace. The organization will then be billed directly by ADP at $2.25 per user each month based on the subscription size. There's no upfront costs, contract, or commitment, and the organization can cancel anytime and take all of its data. The last step is that SnapEval will also help with manager and employee training. This is also a free service. This process is designed to minimize cost and risk to the organization and to empower the HR professional to explore and utilize SnapEval without making any commitments for the organization. The organization sets the pace for moving through these process steps, not SnapEval. In other words, the SnapEval team is there to assist the organization and won't push the organization to move through the process or deploy SnapEval to the whole organization. To instantly create your own free 10-user SnapEval account, go to SnapEval.com or to the ADP Marketplace. If you have questions or need help getting started, please contact us at support@SnapEval.com or 585-414-5000. Thank you.